friends, I'm here. I'm still alive. I'm back. I'm wearing a very wrinkly t-shirt. I apologize for that. I just throw my t-shirts in the drawer and forget about them for months on end. This is a very cute one though. I'll talk about it in a second. But if you're new here, I will introduce myself. My name is Melissa. My pronouns are she, her, and I am Stitches Be Slippin on Instagram. And I am Stitches Be Slippin right here on YouTube, and this is the Stitches Be Slippin YouTube podcast channel thing. I just said Stitches Be Slippin many times. Yeah, where I talk about knitting, crocheting, various crafts, depending on the rabbit hole that I'm down at the moment. I have ADHD and I get distracted very easily. So yeah, mostly by crafts. Sometimes by other things, but mostly by crafts. I have two crafts to show you today, knitting and crochet. Or should I say crochet? Have you seen that guy on Instagram? If you're on Instagram, crap, what's his name? I'll put it down here. I think it's like David Yee or something like that. And he like discovered crocheting and he is hilarious. And he likes to tell people to crochet. And I love that. Yeah, so sorry it's been a hot minute since I've been here again. Like I said last time, you gotta be in the right mood, and things like gestures broadly at the world are slightly fucked at the moment and makes it difficult to be like happy and cheery and let's talk about crafting while the world's gonna whatever, you know. So anyway, I'm here and yeah, anyway. Okay. Do you recognize me? How have I not talked about this yet? It's been 2 minutes. Do you even recognize me? Look at this. Look at my hair is curly all of a sudden. Who knew? I've always had wavy-ish hair. And like, I feel like I am a like 80s hairband roadie. That's how it feels to me right now. That's the vibe I'm getting, that's giving, you know? I don't hate it. I like it. This is actually on day 2. I had a shower yesterday morning and washed it and like scrunched it and whatever. So it's not as like juicy plump curls as it was yesterday, but it's still okay. Anyway, if you haven't been here for a while, last year, 1 year ago in April, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, which is like an inflammatory autoimmune disease that causes your body to attack your own joints. Super unpleasant, 0 out of 10, don't recommend. And anyway, at the very beginning of when I got diagnosed, the default medication that they give everyone first off to see if they can tolerate it is it's called methotrexate, and it just makes me sick just saying that word. It's a low dose chemo drug that you do, and you give yourself an injection once a week. And anyway, it made me feel really gross, made me feel sick all the time, and as like side bonus, it made half of my hair fall out. Like giant chunks of hair would fall out in the shower. Sorry, I should have put a trigger warning before that about stuff like this. Anyway, I've gone through a number of different medications since then. I'm now on a medication that works awesome. I take up 1 pill once a day, no, 2 pills once a day, and my joints are all good. Like I'm in remission, which means like I'll always have rheumatoid arthritis, but it's medically under control. And since I've been off of that awful medication that I took in the beginning, my hair is all growing back, and it's growing back like corkscrew curly, which I've never had before. It's always been just lightly wave it, but if I like blow dry it, it goes completely flat, straight. But yeah, not anymore. So I don't know if you can see this on here, but I'll show you like underneath. Like I said, day 2, so it's a little frizzy, but like you see this here, it's really tightly curled and it's like this long. And that's the undergrowth. That's all that regrowth that's coming in all over my head. So it's all about this length. And then the stuff that's long is the stuff that didn't fall out last year. So the back of my head, like if I turned around right now, you could see it's like floof till about here. And then the rest of what didn't fall out last year is just hanging off there. So it's a little scraggly at the bottom where all those curls aren't like holding it up underneath. Anyway, it's a really long conversation about hair and a knitting podcast. But I just wanted to make sure that you know that it's still me. I'm still the same person. And I hope you still love me. I've had to do a lot of research on how to style curly hair because I've never had to do that before. So now I'm doing the whole like curly girl method where you like have to use shampoo with all the I don't know, there's all these rules that what can be in your shampoo and conditioner, what can't be in there. And when I'm in the shower, I have to like turn my head upside down and put my conditioner in, scrunching my hair upside down. It's a cute look for sure. But my hair's gotten a lot curlier since I started doing it like that. This part is just like, whatever, I'm gonna be straight and screw with you. Okay, should we talk about things that you're actually here to listen to me talk about, which is crafts, knitting, in particular, crocheting, yarn, fiber, all those things. First of all, let's talk about what I'm wearing. This cute little like retro lettering knit t-shirt. It's not white, it's like kind of like that sort of creamy off-white. I love it. It's super soft. I got this from Allie & Co. Creations, and Allie is the daughter of Shelly, who owns Polka Dot Creek, where I used to work. And so Allie does she does lots of like t-shirts and stickers and all that kind of stuff. She dyes a ton of yarn at Polka Dot Creek. She has started dyeing her own yarn, like speckling her own different colorways, and I will show you more of that later on. But yeah, check out Allie & Co. She doesn't have her own website. You can find all of her stuff on the Polka Dot Creek website, which will be linked down below. Just like all of the other, whoever I talk about, makers, knitters, designers, blah, 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 all that stuff. That'll all be down below, as usual. Okay. I have 3 finished objects for you. I only have 2 of them on me physically. I can't remember if it was my last episode or the one before that when I was showing, must have been the one before that. Anyway, I test knit the Ljusblomma shawl for Nicole, who is the Prof Pearl. She is Prof Pearl on Instagram and Professor Pearl on YouTube. And she's one of my knitting besties, and I love her so much. And so whenever she has a new design coming out, I always want to test knit it for her. And I made it for my mom and gave it to my mom for Mother's Day. So I don't have it with me, but I can show you a few pictures up here of the finished item. I think I showed you the finished item before, I think. But the pattern is out now. That's the point of this. The pattern was released, I think it was last week or the week before, and you can get it on Ravelry. She had a discount code. I can't remember when that expires, but go check out Nicole's Instagram page, Prof Pearl, as I said, and you can make your own. It has a lot of really awesome color combinations, a lot of possibilities. I have one in my head that I would really like to make, just like a gray, like a really light gray with some bright pink flowers or something like that. That's what's been stuck in my head since I finished the one for Mom. The one that I did make, I made with Polka Dot Creek yarn, and that colorway, the main color, was one of Allie's yarn creations, I guess you could say. She's doing her own colorway once a month, and Shelly's selling it. So Allie & Co. Creations, and the colorway was called Augie. It was named after their awesome little dog named Augie, and the contrast colors I used were navy and antique mauve for the flower rows. Yeah, so anyway, the Loose Blama is out now, and go get your copy from Prof Pro. Okay, now an FO that I can show you. I'm gonna put it on 1 second. Okay, here she is. I finished my Lanark sweater. This is a design by Rebecca Clow, who is the Crea Bea on Instagram and on podcast. And on YouTube, she has a podcast. She is quite a prolific designer and like a fearless designer. She designs so many cool things, and I don't understand how they all come out of her brain and into a pattern, but I'm very happy that she does that because then I get to knit all the cool patterns. So yeah, this is the Lanark sweater. And it is all half fisherman's rib, drop shoulder, like nice and boxy. I actually made a bigger size than I usually do because I was inspired by this sweater, like what do you call it? Commercial sweater that I bought at Winners. I bought this and I was like, oh my god, I love this. I love this style. I love the collar, the big tall collar with the color at the top, and it's quite oversized, like it's even more oversized than the Lanark sweater. But after I bought this, then I was like, I need to make a sweater like this. And I found the Lanark pattern. So this, I made I think it was a size 3, I can't remember what actual like bust size it is, but it's a larger size than I usually make because I wanted it to be like big and oversized and boxy, just like the leopard print sweater. The pattern doesn't call for the little pop of color at the top of the collar, but again, I was inspired by that leopard print collar that has like the bright orangey red at the top. Yeah, I sewed in a zipper, and I think I sewed it in way too tight because it's like a little puckery. I don't know what you call, like I kind of strangled it within an inch of its life, but I'm super happy with it. So here we go. Oh yeah, I'm also wearing leopard print pants. I'm in my leopard print era, okay? So I don't ever wear these pants together with that sweater. Don't worry, I haven't gone completely overboard. Anyway, I can't remember. I don't think that the pattern called for a split hem, but I just like a split hem. And yeah, that's the deal. It's why I said it's all half fisherman's rib, which I really like. I think I mentioned on my last podcast that the method for knitting the half fisherman's rib on this one was different than what I had done before. But I definitely got the hang of it and it was fine. I don't have any like gaping holes anywhere where I made a mistake or like dropped a stitch and couldn't figure out what to do with it after. So that's good. The zipper works. Oh, ooh la la, she says. Anyway, the yarn. I thought I was prepared. I was not. This yarn I got in a D-stash from Laura of Tiny Human Knits. I just happened to be on Instagram one day when she posted that she had some yarn on her shop for D-stash, and I scooped this up. I got 12 skeins of this. This is Drops Soft Tweed. It is super fine alpaca and merino wool, says the label, 50% wool, 25% alpaca, and 25% viscose. And it's a DK weight, 142 yards. These are 50 gram balls, so it's like 284 yards. Is that good math? I don't know. I did that really quickly, and math's not my strong suit. I got 12 of these, so basically 6 full skeins of DK weight yarn. And I love it. I really, really love it. I love this. I love the neutral color. I love the little pop at the top. This pop at the top is Lily and Pine Fiber Arts, who unfortunately isn't dyeing yarn anymore. This is her lipstick colorway. And I've got about half or 3/4 of a skein of Surrey in this color and about half a skein of fingering weight left in this color. And I'm like hoarding it and just using it for really, really, really special like little things. So you make it last as long as possible because it's the most amazing color. Anyway, did I have anything else to talk about with this? Oh, I made it a bigger size, and I really like the size that it is right now. But I would maybe like to just like get it a little bit longer. I was scared to like full wet block it because I didn't like half fisherman's rib blocks out like this way. What's this called? Horizontally a lot when you wet block it, and I don't really want it to get much bigger because I've already got lots of ease here. I do want to make it a little bit longer though. I steam blocked it, but I'm thinking about maybe wet blocking it really, really, really carefully and not making sure that it's not stretched out at all when I pin it to the, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll just leave it and just keep yanking on it because that's cute, right? Yeah, how many skeins of that do I have left? I have 2.5 left, so I used, no, oh yeah, 2.5, but they're 50 grams, so I have like 1.5 full skeins left. So I used 4.5. Oh, she's really trying to do math today, and can you see the smoke coming out of my ears? Okay, so that, I don't think I have anything else to say, but I really like it. It's very cozy. I really like the yarn. I would actually, it's not a superwash yarn, so it's a little bit crisp, but it's really squishy and cozy, and it's not scratchy at all. So I would definitely be interested in knitting another sweater with this. I really like it. It's not heavy, like it's a DK weight, but it's not heavy. Like I find more and more that I turn towards non-superwash wool because it's lighter, or maybe just the way that this one is spun, it's lighter. I don't like putting on a sweater and feeling like it's like, ugh, like pulling down. And anyway, that's just me. Okay, I'm gonna put on my last FO and I'll be right back. Okay, so here's the mini mock neck by Jessie Martinson, who is Jessie May on Instagram. And it's just like a simple fingering weight tank top. I'm calling it an FO. I didn't completely finish it the way that the pattern asked me to do it, but I like it this way, so that's how I'm gonna do it. I had a few issues. Like a lot of people, I had some gauge issues. Jessie May patterns, a lot of people seem to have gauge issues with Jessie's patterns. But I kind of carried on. Here, I'll tell you what I mean. I started out, well, it starts out with the back, and then you, obviously in the front, and then you join in the round. So I did the back, I did the front, I joined in the round. Well, yes, I joined in the round and did a few rounds. And then I tried it on for the first time, and the underarm was like too low. it was way below my bra. So I don't know if my row gauge was too big or if I don't know. I think probably that was it. My row gauge was too big. So I ripped back, and then I ripped back like I think 5 rows or something on the front and on the back, and then joined it in the round again. Oh, and also it was too big. Like it was, it's meant to be like sort of 0 inches of ease. So just, it's meant to be like 0 inches of ease, and it was kind of like baggy and not as fitted. So I also, when I cast on under here, I can't remember how many stitches I was supposed to cast on for my size that I was making, but I cast on, like, for instance, say it was like, I don't know, 15 stitches or something. I did 5 instead to like take out a bunch of stitches. And so now that's perfect. It's like the right length. It's the right fit all the way around. And yeah, so I made it like, it's like fairly cropped. I really like the detail. There's just like a little bit of ribbing underneath the armholes. And there's over here, it's just a little bit of like, so you don't have to pick up and do ribbing. You're just knitting this as you're knitting along. It's like a sort of like a ribbing, but with a slip stitch on the edge. Yeah, and it looks cute, and it sits nice and flat after you block it. Before I blocked it, it wasn't really sitting nice and flat like I wanted it to, but here we are in the back. So these are not high-waisted jeans. They're just kind of like natural waist. And I wanted to be able to like wear them, wear this with high-waisted jeans and it kind of like tuck in, or like under overalls or something like that, and not have to be like dealing with all extra fabric and stuff at the bottom. So yeah, what else? What was my problem? After when I joined in the round, and then I don't know, I think it was maybe like the 5 rounds of, or 6 or whatever, how many rounds of ribbing, like just that section right here, right across the boobie area, my gauge changed completely and got way bigger. And so like all these stitches across, or I don't know if you can see, let's see if you can, so there's some there and there, where it's just like a little bit gapey. So I was thinking about ripping it back again and rejoining it and knitting it tighter. But then I just decided not to, so it looks fine. Nobody's gonna like come up and look at my boobs and say those stitches are too loose. Hopefully. Yeah, I think it's fine. I'm not one of those ones who's just gonna frog back over and over and over again so that it's perfect. It's good enough. And the only other thing is you're supposed to pick up the collar, like this is just the cast on edge around the collar, and you're supposed to pick it up and like knit a fairly substantial collar. But I don't want to do that. I don't want it up around my neck. This is for wearing in the summertime, and I don't want to feel like it's strangling me. And I think it looks kind of cute with the little rollover there. Like it looks sort of intentional and not necessarily just laziness. That's not laziness. I would pick it up and do it if I thought it would make it look better, but I like how it looks, and I don't want it like up tight around my neck in the summer when it's hot out. Okay, let's talk about the yarn. How did I not talk about that yet? This is a fingering weight tank top. This yarn is from Mary Margaret Fibers, who is my friend Candace. She's awesome, amazing. She thinks that I'm low-key obsessed with her, and she may be right. She makes really awesome, she makes really beautiful, bright, fun yarn, and I love it. This is her fingering weight base, and this is the Pink Pony Club colorway. So I thought that would be a really good, slightly subversive way to visit the United States, because I'm wearing this to Flock Fiber Festival in Seattle. My friend Nicole, Prof Pearl, that I was talking about earlier, her and I went to Flock Fiber Festival in Seattle together last year and made matching tank tops, and we're doing the same this year. So yes, I'm going to the United States. And I know a lot of people might judge me for that, because most people, most Canadians anyway, are choosing not to travel to the US in the current gestures at everything situation. But I do feel that we have to remember that there are a lot of really awesome people in the United States who don't believe in the things that are happening there. And that includes some of my bestest knitting friends, and I want to go see them, and I want to go and support the yarn vendors at this festival who also don't agree with all these things that are going on, and are still trying to run a business. And yeah, so that's where I'm coming from with that. Okay, one other thing that I forgot to mention about my mini mock neck is that I bound it off rather tightly, so it's kind of hard to, it's okay to get on, but getting it off, like up and over the shoulders, is a little tricky. But I wanted to bind it off, cast it off, whatever, bind off tightly on purpose, so that the ribbing doesn't like flare out at the bottom, just because of like it being cropped. And anyway, that's just how I wanted it. It just makes it a little bit of pain to get on and off. But oh well. Yes. What else was I just going to say? Oh yeah. I have been really terrible lately at taking pictures of my FO and like actually posting them to my Instagram grid. I usually like show them on my YouTube channel, and then I'm like, okay, I showed everybody, and like moving on to the next thing, and then I totally forget about it. I have a number of things that I haven't taken pictures of and posted. My Lanark sweater, mini mock neck, my nebula. I think I wore that on my last podcast. I can't remember, or if I just showed it to you. Did I have that as an FO on my last one? I did. Good thing I had notes. Yeah, I haven't posted that. Let's see, what else haven't I posted? Hannah cardigan I did. My 03 rib cami that I showed last time, didn't take pictures of that, post pictures of that yet. Yeah, okay. Anyway. We do what we have the bandwidth for. I feel like, I don't know why, but posting FO pics to my Instagram grid always just feels like, I don't know, like a huge task. Like I post pictures to stories all the time, and it's not like, I don't know why. Why is it that doing an FO post is so much harder? I don't know. It's just like one of those mental blocks for me. So we'll see if I get them done. If not, congratulations, you watched my podcast, so you've already seen it. Yeah, let's talk about whips. I have 3 whips, and all of them you haven't seen, so this is exciting. Which one should I talk about first? Okay, that one. Good idea. I'm going to show you something else first because it's sort of related. I've been very inspired by the commercial garments that I've been wearing lately, and those have been influencing the items that I've been knitting. So I've got this also at Winners recently, not in the same trip. It's very wrinkly because I wear it a lot, and it's linen, so I'm scared to wash it. But yeah, it's like really nice soft linen blend. I don't think it's 100% linen. It might be, I can't remember. But like I love this color, and I was like, I need to knit something with this color. I've become quite obsessed with this like beautiful, like bright emerald green. I love it. I love it. So I recently, I'll talk more about it at the end in my general life update section, but I went to the Prairie Fiber Festival in Olds last weekend. And the night before the festival, my friend Jen, who is the fiber goddess, posted a picture of the sale yarn that she was taking to the festival. She was a vendor there, and she had 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn in like almost that exact color. And I messaged her immediately and I was like, tell me more about that green yarn in the back there. And so she sent me, what did she? I don't think she sent me another picture of it, but she said it's a super old colorway that's been discontinued, like retired. I only have these 2 skeins of it left. And I was like, put them aside for me, please. I don't know how I ever missed this colorway before, but they're for me, please. And so I bought those 2 skeins of this. Like, right? Come on. There's the shirt. It's a little bit darker, but still like nice, bright, like emerald. Like, I love it. I love it. It's a tonal, like a semi-solid, so it's got different shades of green. I'll show you what I'm making with it. You can see it a little bit more in what I'm making. Anyway, I'm making the Corin cardigan by Rebecca Clow, the Crayabea, the same designer as my Lanark sweater. And here's what I've got so far. So you can sort of see the like slight color variations in there. I love it. I think it's so pretty. It's actually coming up pretty accurately for the color. It's a really hard color to photograph. It quite frequently, when I take a picture of it, it comes up a lot darker in the picture than it actually is. It's quite bright and like jewelly. Anyway, I love it. I love the color. It's her Emma base, I think. Her Emma base, which is 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. But this base is really nice. It's like really round and plump, and it's so nice to knit with. It's so good. And the colorway is called Deeply Shallow. It is a retired colorway, but I saw her last night at Knit Night, and she said she was thinking about possibly bringing it back because it was inspired by Wicked like a while ago, and now that like Wicked is current again, like the movie / movies, she said she was thinking about possibly bringing it back. So if you're interested, you should definitely let her know that she should dye some more of this, because it's gorgeous. Anyway, the Corin cardigan, I'll put a picture up here of the Corin cardigan by Rebecca Clow, is a worsted weight cardigan, lace cardigan pattern. And I found this color and I really wanted to make something like this, like a lacy something with it. And she had 2 skeins of fingering weight, so that's what I bought. And so I am making a worsted weight cardigan with a fingering weight. So hopefully this will work out. Fingers crossed. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have probably seen that I made a swatch. I put up a picture on Instagram and demanded that everyone give me a round of applause and tell me how awesome I am because I made a swatch. This is how big the swatch is. It's come a few rows unraveled, but this is how big the swatch is that I made. And I like soaked it and I blocked it, and I was like, I think I deserve some applause here because A, I made a swatch. Don't usually do that. B, this is the biggest swatch I've ever made. One of my friends, excuse me, one of my friends came in my DMs hot. She like came in hot and was like, well, you made like the smallest swatch you possibly could. And I was like, bitch, I don't need that kind of negative energy. This is the biggest swatch I've ever made. Pat me on the back and carry on. just all joking. I love her. She's great, but it's like I don't need that kind of negative energy in my life. So this was my swatch. Yeah, isn't it pretty? So I'm keeping it in here because I only have 2 skeins of fingering weight and I might need that yarn. So what I did, if you're on Instagram and you saw this already, but I'm going to tell you about it anyway. So I had to make a swatch because I'm using a very, very, very different weight of yarn. So my gauge is going to be very, very, very different. So I had to swatch so that I could know what my gauge actually is. So I had to block it because I need to know what my gauge is going to be after I block. I know you're all just like screaming at the like, this is how you're supposed to do it always, but I can usually fudge it. But this one is, the gauges are just so drastically different that I felt compelled to actually do it. So I knit the swatch, I blocked it, measured my gauge per 4 inches, well, and then like divided that by 4 to get my gauge per inch. So I think my gauge is 5 stitches per inch or 20 stitches per 4 inches. So then I took that 5 stitches per inch and multiplied it by the number of inches that I want the finished object to be. And so that gave me the stitch count that I would need to achieve that. And then I went into the pattern and looked at the size, like the stitch count for all the different sizes, because it's a bottom up, so you cast on the full amount of stitches at the bottom and then work your way up. So I looked at the stitch counts for all the different sizes and found the one that was closest to the stitch count that I want, or that I will need to achieve my size. And I'm really hoping it's gonna work. I also only have 2 skeins of this fingering weight yarn. I'm only making it a short sleeve. It's probably going to be like cap sleeve almost, just like a really short sleeve. But I really hope it works because it's really pretty and I really, really like it. Look at how cute that ribbing is. The ribbing is so pretty. It took me for fucking ever to knit. It's like 2¼ inches of 1x1 ribbing with fingering weight yarn on 3mm needles. I felt like I knit this for an eternity, but look how pretty it is. It's so pretty. And the lace is not complicated. It's a very simple lace pattern, so it's not, don't be afraid of it. It's not scary. Anyway, yeah. I don't really have much else to say about that besides just that, like, I'm a hero because I did a swatch. That's really all I had to say about that. It's a little slow going, but that's okay. We have a lot of holidays coming up in the summer. My kids are done school the day after tomorrow. So we're gonna be here for a bit. We're gonna go to the cabin for a couple weeks. We'll come back for a couple weeks. We'll go back to the cabin for a couple weeks. And then we'll be home for a couple weeks. And then school is gonna start. So today and tomorrow are my last like full days of having the boys at school and being able to just knit and relax. I can knit and relax when they're home, when we're on holidays anyway, because they just like, when we're at the cabin, they just run around and play and come back for food. But it's nice being like at home and not having to be like, answer, mom, can we do this? Mom, can we do, it's just like peaceful and serene. Anyway, yappy. This project is living in this awesome bag. It's a little wrinkly because it was in with a bag of other bags. But this is all cork, like rainbowy, beautiful cork on the outside. And then on the inside, it's all this really fun, bright rifle paper fabric. This bag was made by Penny, who is Creek Gardens Crafts on Etsy. It has a little handle hanging from it so I can carry it like that. And I love it. This was a gift from Penny for Mother's Day a few years ago. When I was working at Polka Dot Creek, she gave us all a custom bag for Mother's Day, which was so lovely. Hi, Penny. Okay, that was number one. Number two is crochet. I don't know if I say that right, but it's good enough. Okay, so I was influenced by the Grocery Girls. I'm just going to admit it. The last episode that I watched, which I don't think was their last episode, but I kind of just like turn on an episode and like watch little bits at a time because their episodes are so long and I don't usually have time to watch all of them. So I just kind of like watch little bits and bobs here and there. Anyway, Jody was talking about the Agnes sweater vest, which is a crochet vest, granny square vest, basically. I can't remember the name of the designer, but I will put a link down below. It is both a free pattern on her blog and a paid pattern that you can buy on Ravelry, I believe, or her website, I can't remember. I'm just using the free pattern that's on her blog. But it was a very popular pattern when she published it on her blog, and then she wrote an actual pattern with like grading and sizing and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's really, really cute. Let me put a picture up here of the, oh, it's so cute. It's just like granny squares across the front. There's like one that goes across the shoulders and one in, well, I mean, depends on your size, but for me, one on the sides, one across the shoulders, and then you just like knit some ribbing and boom, you're done. I'm so excited. It's gonna be so cute. I'm using all scraps. I have like so many skeins of like, it's a worsted weight pattern. So some of my colors I'm using, oh, what am I using? Some of them like a thick fingering weight and a mohair. Some of them I'm using fingering weight held double. Some of them are just like a plain worsted. I'm just looking at them. They're all on the floor over there. I'll take a picture and put it up here of all the colors that I'm using. The pink is the fluffy DK weight Surrey alpaca that I made my nebula in. And yeah, so I've made a little over half of my granny squares. So like this is fingering held double, this is fingering held double, this is a worsted, this is a fingering held double. So I've got like some cinnamon, some brown, some like sagey green, got some blue, pink. What else do we have? There's like a beige color. There's like, this is that worsted weight mustard color that I made a cardigan out of recently. I don't think there's any more new ones, but like blue and cinnamon and beige and oh, and there's some light gray, some dark gray. Oh, I love them. They're so pretty. I really love this like sagey green with the pink and the blue, and there's that like mustardy, darker color. Oh, I love them. I took a picture of them. I have them like laid out on the floor in the sort of like in the layout that they'll be joined together. So I'll put a picture up here of that too. And I'm very excited about it. I can't wait. It's like, it's fun to make granny squares because it's quick and you like feel accomplished because you like, oh, I made a whole granny square. It's like a million FOs within an FO. But anyway, yeah, I'm very excited to do that. I'll be joining everything together with the white cream, whatever, undyed yarn that's going around the outside of all of the squares. I'm thinking about a second one with like a different color as the joining, like maybe where is that one? Nope. This like cinnamony kind of color maybe. I don't know. Excuse me, there's So many possibilities with granny squares, millions and millions of color possibilities. Okay, so those are those, and I have one more. This was completely unplanned. So was the Agnes sweater vest, that granny square sweater vest, that was completely unplanned. I was working on, what was it? I finished my mini mock neck. I finished my Lanark a while ago. I finished my mini mock neck. I cast on the green Corin cardigan, and I was just knitting away on the ribbing, and then I was watching that Grocery Girls episode, and I like immediately got out all of my leftover yarn, scrap yarn. Not really scrap yarn. I have a lot of like wound up like 3/4 skeins or like half skeins and whatever, so I got out, I have a couple of bins just full of those. I got those out, like started playing with colors, just like immediately started crocheting, so I got a little distracted, but it happens. And then the other day I also got distracted again. The Flock Fiber Festival has like a knit along that's like tanks and tees and whatever, like leading up to the festival, and then you wear them to the festival. And I think it was Nicole, I think, was looking for something else to make besides the mini mock neck, and she was looking for like sort of like a lace, like a vest or like slip over or something, and she found one pattern that was really, really cute, but then we looked more into it and it was not very size inclusive at all. So then I kind of went down the rabbit hole, like looking on Ravelry for similar patterns, and couldn't really find anything. And then I was just like getting distracted because I was like, I like to skateboard. I don't know if you've been here for a while, you know that I like to skateboard. If you saw my intro video, you know I like to skateboard. And I really want something to wear while I'm skateboarding that's not like super girly, but it's also like if I can make it in like something that's more breathable, like a cotton or linen or something like that. So anyway, I was looking for something. I didn't know exactly what it was that I was looking for, and wasn't really finding it because probably I didn't know what I was looking for. So I pulled out I have this book called 750 Knitting Stitches, the Ultimate Knit Stitch Bible. And so I was looking in here because there's a whole section, like you can see the different colors of sections. There's a section for knit and purl stitches, so like not lace, not whatever, like this is all different stitch patterns that you can do just involving knits and purls. And then there's a whole cable section, and then there's a whole section of lace and eyelet stitches. So I was looking through this whole section of lace and eyelet stitches, just kind of looking to see if there was anything that interests me. And then I could go and look for something on Ravelry using those stitch patterns. And I found, this one's not a very good picture. I don't know if you can see this checkerboard lace. I was just flipping through all of these pictures, seeing if there was anything that stood out to me. And when I saw that, I thought immediately of the Vans shoe company. There's like a Vans skateboarding company that they make like shoes and clothes and all that kind of stuff, but they're really famous for their checkerboard print on their shoes, skateboard shoes. And that just kind of immediately reminded me of like the Vans checkerboard pattern. So I was like, oh, I like that. So then I went to Ravelry and I was looking, trying to find something with that stitch pattern, and there really wasn't much on there at all that I could find. I just searched for things with like the keyword like checker or checkerboard or just check. And there's millions of different kinds, but not really using that stitch pattern. So then I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna cast something on and see if I like the stitch pattern. I have this yarn that I bought for something else, not that long ago. This is the Made with Love, the cottony one, which is Tom Daly's line of yarn with Line brand. Tom Daly is an Olympic diver, which is really cool because my son is in diving. So I really love this whole like diving and yarn connection. And the colorway is called Gold Medal. I bought this to make a tank top a little while ago. And then I was just like, I want to cast something on. I want it to be quick to see if I like this, how it looks, how the stitch pattern looks and all that kind of stuff. So I chose this because it's a worsted weight yarn and it's also is it half cotton? Where's the, it's 60% cotton and 40% acrylic. So it's thick and it's cotton, so it will hopefully breathe a bit better. Plus it's a lace pattern, so it'll get some ventilation. And so I cast on and I have done this much so far. Yeah, so apparently I'm doing bottom up. I didn't really want to, I just wanted to see what the stitch pattern looked like, so I wasn't really thinking about like, I didn't really want to think about like shaping or decreases or increases or whatever. I just wanted to cast on and see what the stitch pattern looked like. So here I go. I have done, so these rows up to here is one repeat. So there's 1, 2, 3 repeats that I've done. And then I was getting anxious to just keep going and see. So now I have put half of the stitches on hold for the front, and I'm gonna work the back up. And then it's gonna get interesting because I don't know how to design patterns. All I know is how to follow patterns. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do when it's time to actually shape it into a top. My vision is like just, honestly, just like a boxy, there's not gonna be a ton of shaping, just like 3 needle bind off at the top, probably a little scoopy or just like, I don't know, something. I regret, like, I just wanted to cast it on and see how it looked with the stitch pattern, but I kind of like how it looks, and I regret not putting short rows at the bottom so that it would be a little bit longer in the back. I regret not doing a split hem on the side because I really love a split hem on the side. But yeah, so I'm gonna do the back. I'm gonna try and put some short rows at the back so that it will at least not like strangle me across the neck. If anyone has any suggestions on how to do that, that would be fantastic. I think I can probably figure it out. I can probably just try and get them, well, I'll have to get them in the like stockinette portions as opposed to in the lace portions and not explode my brain. And then we will figure out how to shape it in the front to make a neck. I don't know. We're winging it here. It was just like, it was in my brain and it came out. So I have no idea where this is going. It's probably just gonna be like, I don't know. I don't know where this is going. I don't plan on actually like making a pattern, and I don't know how to grade stuff. I don't know how to make it for all different sizes. I don't know how to do any of that. So if you have any suggestions, if you have any, like, do you think this looks cute? Like, it's not blocked, but like, I feel like once it's blocked and it's like, I don't know, I think it's cute. It's like, will be sort of like this. Does it sort of look like a checkerboard? Does it look like, I don't know. Tell me what you think. Give me your feedback. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Is mostly it just came out of my brain, and then I didn't know what to do after that, so I just kept knitting it. So I guess, I don't know. Anyway, that is living in a new bag that I purchased also at the Prairie Fiber Festival, which is this, and it's so cute. I didn't get there, I didn't get there until I think it was almost 2 o'clock, and I just kind of came around the corner, and this booth was sort of around the corner, and I saw this sitting there, and I was like, how is that still sitting on the shelf? How has nobody bought this yet? Like, holy, it's got like really, really soft, like, I don't want to say, I don't know, it's some sort of wool on the side. It's really, really soft, and that's pocket. And then this is a canvas, but it's like a really soft canvas, and like, it's my color, right? And it's got the nice long strap. You can wear it crossbody, whatever. The inside is this cute sort of like floral fabric. It's really nice. It's got a big pocket on the inside. It's like a magnet closure at the top, which is great. I hate zippers. Yeah. So that is where that is living. This is a little like pin, it's like a little heart with holes in it to put pins on, and you can just hang it off of, if you have, there's like a sort of like a D-ring on here. This, I got this from Her Leather Co., this pin heart, whatever you want to call it. Alyssa, who is Her Leather Co., she makes all sorts of like awesome leather bags and stuff like that, but she also has like little notions and stuff. So these are my pins. The progressive pride flag, a hand, like power hand holding knitting needles, and a watermelon for free Palestine. And I also have another rainbow pin on here that just happened to perfectly match my bag. Yeah, I think those are all my whips. I have a shit ton of acquisitions to show you, and this is already getting very long, so I'm gonna have to do that quickly. Let's do it. Okay. First of all, a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I think, we had another yarn swap at the knit night that I go to, and I wasn't expecting to have quite the haul that I got. I didn't take that many skeins of yarn to trade. Usually you get to take as many skeins as you bring. But a bunch of people just brought a bunch of skeins and then didn't want to take more home. They just wanted to get rid of them. And like, I'm never gonna pass up free yarn. Never. So I traded my amount of yarn that I brought, and then there was all this yarn still sitting on the table, and everyone was like, no, I don't want to take any more yarn home or whatever, just take whatever you want. I was like, okay. So I got a lot of stuff. First of all, what I traded, I can't remember how many skeins of yarn I took with me, but I traded those straight up across. Like, we hadn't even started the yarn swap yet, but my friend Justine was sitting beside me, and she brought, you're not even gonna believe this. Look at this. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh shit. I dropped it. I don't know if I can. So this is the same-ish base that I used for my nebula. It's a DK weight Surrey alpaca. This one is a little bit different. It has 74% Surrey alpaca, 22% merino, and 4% polyamide. The other one that I used was a bit smoother. This one is a bit like more Muppet-like, but it's so beautiful. This is, I'll show you the actual. This is Bramble Ridge, which is a Canadian dyer, and the colorway is called Honeydew. And Justine made a nebula with this color, and it was awesome. And that was what inspired me to finish my nebula that I finished on my last podcast. And this is the same base, but in a different color. My nebula took me a little over 2 skeins to make. And so she has like 1.5 of this color and 1.5 of this color. And I was like, I can't make a whole nebula with that. And then my friend Jocelyn, who goes to our knit night. Hi, Jocelyn. Brilliant, evil genius. she was like, well, you could make it half and half. So that's the plan. This is gonna be a nebula, and like, put those things down. It's gonna be a nebula, but it's gonna be, this half is gonna be this color, and this half is gonna be this color, and it's gonna be epic. I can't wait. It's so good. I was like, oh, I scored. I was like, I would have been happy walking out of there with just those, like, yeah. But yeah, then there was more. This was also sitting on the table after everyone traded, and I don't know why I was drawn to it. It's not normal colors that I like, but I thought this is really cool. It is Farmer's Daughter Fibers. They're June Sock Squad, Highwood Sock, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. The colorway is called the Elephant Hawk Moth. And I was just like, that's really cool. I could make a mini mock neck tank with this. I didn't tell you that before. It took me less than 1 skein of yarn, fingering weight yarn, to make that. But I made one of this, well, I think it was the second size, but it ended up really being like the first size, I think, because of the changes that I made. And I also made it really cropped. So now I know, I only need 1 skein to make that for myself. So I think this would be really cool. It's like a orangey, or not orangey. It's like a yellowy greenish with some reddish speckles. I don't know. I thought it was very interesting. I got 1 skein of this. This is Flock Fiber Festival. Her Take a Hike sock base, 80/20. And it's called Ocean Deep. It was just sitting there and I was like, this is so pretty. I'll take it. Sure, no problem. I'll take it off your hands. I'll do you a favor. And then there's this one, which is really cool colors. This is gonna micro stripe like a motherfucker, but I was like, the colors are so pretty. This is Manos del Uruguay, Alegría. So it is a 75% superwash merino, 25% polyamide, fingering weight. I think really the only thing I can make with this is socks, and I don't really usually make socks, but I thought that the colors were really pretty, and again, it was still sitting there and nobody had taken it. So I was like, okay, sure, I'll take it. And then the last one is some black fingering weight, Heritage, Cascade Heritage 75/25. It's just like a solid black. But it's a really good solid black. Like, it is saturated, it's full black. And I thought this would be great to make a musselburg with, like just a plain black musselburg. I thought that would be awesome. So I could do that with, yeah. And then, but there's more. But wait, there's more. Then I went to the Prairie Fiber Festival last weekend with my mom, came with me, and it was also Worldwide Knit and Crochet in Public Day. I think it should just be called Worldwide Stitch in Public Day. I don't know. Most people call it Worldwide Knit in Public Day, but like, you can also crochet in public. You can also embroider in public. You can also like do all kinds of crafty things in public. It should be Worldwide Craft in Public Day. That's what it should be. Anyway, so all 3 of the Polka Dot Creek stores were having parties in each of the stores. And since I was going up the highway to Olds, I went and stopped in Airdrie, which is the store that I used to work at. When I worked there, there was only 1 Polka Dot Creek store, and now there's 3. But anyway, I wanted to stop and say hi to my girls. I haven't seen them for a long time. I haven't been to Airdrie for quite a while. So I stopped in and said hi to Candace and Krista, and we got to visit. I got to see my friend Laura, who lives in Cochrane and shops there. She happened to come in while I was there, so that was nice. We got to sit and knit and chat for a bit. And I bought a little bit of yarn there as well. I got a couple of skeins of fingering weight. Speaking of Allie and Company, Allie created this colorway. This is her June colorway, I guess. It's called Alberta. and it's so pretty. It's like this really, it's got like sort of a peachy pink base. I don't know what color base she used, but it's got like these pinks and these yellows and a little bit of like, I don't know what color she speckled that with, if it was like a red or an orange or something. It's great. I really like it. So I bought one of those. Again, I could make a mini mock neck. I could make a musselburg, like, whatever. And then they were also selling these little kits that were really cute to make. They've been making at Polka Dot Creek, the ladies that work there have been making these little bags that are called, I don't know how to pronounce it, Sagaponack sack or Sagaponack sack. I'll put a picture up here. They're just like these little sort of pouches that you can make with fingering weight yarn. And so they were selling kits for those. So this is the color kit that I got. I already skeined it up and I started it and then I messed it up and I haven't gone back to it yet. But this is Brain Freeze Fingering Weight by Polka Dot Creek. And then the kits also came with this little tin that opens up like this, and it's a double-decker tin. So you pull this out and then there's like more room underneath there. But the kit came with scissors and a little stitch holder cord. Was there something else in here? I can't remember. There might have been something else in here. Oh yeah, the needle stoppers. I have them on my brainchild project. These cute little purple flower stitch stoppers or needle stoppers. They're so cute. Yeah, so that was really cute. Again, I can make the little pouch with it. I could make a mini mock neck. I could make a musselburg. I have, yeah, pretty much every single skein now that I buy, I'm gonna be like, I can make a mini mock neck. I can make a musselburg. That's gonna be my mantra, I guess, from now on. Okay, those were those. And then I went to the Prairie Fiber Festival after I stopped in Airdrie. I kept on going to Olds and bought more stuff. I haven't been to a yarn festival for a while, and I was kind of on a bit of a use your stash kick for quite a while, and so my stash was getting a little low. So I just kind of gave myself permission to just buy whatever I was feeling and not like stress too much about it. Buy single skeins if you want, buy whatever, and we'll make it work. One of the dyers that was at the Prairie Fiber Festival was Slam Fiber Company, and I had never seen them at a yarn festival before. So I was chatting with the lady, with the owner of Slam Fiber Festival, and she said it was their first in-person show. And she had so many really fun colorways. Most of her yarn, she specializes sort of in like bulky, super bulky, that kind of thing, but she also had some fingering weight, some DK, some worsted. She had a sample knit up in this color of a Jake beanie. I've made a Jake beanie before. It's like a worsted weight pattern where it's like you basically just knit in stockinette for a really long time, then you fold it over, do some decreases, and you're done. It's a really cute pattern. I'll put a picture up here, Jake beanie, and the link down below. But she had a sample knit up of a Jake beanie in this colorway, and it was like, my jaw dropped to the floor. It was so cool. This is called Postcard, and this is her worsted, not the worst knitter base. It's worsted 225 yards. It's a single ply worsted. So I was like, yes, please. And then she also has a yarn club. It's called the Chub Club, which I think is mostly, I think it's mostly for her like chunkier yarn. I'm not sure. I think that's why it's called Chub Club, but maybe it could be just because that's a fun name. But this was her Chub Club colorway for June. And I bought this on worsted also, so I could make a Jake beanie with it. I just thought like all the colors in it together were interesting, and I thought it would knit up really nice. So yeah, Slam Fiber Company. those are those. I bought the 2 skeins of the green from Fiber Goddess that I'm making my lace cardigan with, the Corin cardigan. I bought that pink project bag that I showed you. I bought this tote bag. It was so cute. It was like hand embroidered. This was from November Kin. I didn't buy any yarn from them because I had already like bought a lot of yarn by then. But I thought this was really cute. Her mom like hand embroidered these little tote bags. So it's just like a regular like canvas tote bag, but it was like, I thought that was really cute. So I bought that from her. I also got some buttons from her that I put away already and I don't remember where. And then the pièce de résistance. Yeah, that's my Canadian French coming out there for you. Oh, it's almost 3 o'clock. I gotta get going. Right? Like, you know, like the sound effect that they with like the angels singing. Ah, that's what this is right here. This lump of beautiful gorgeousness is hand spun yarn by the one and only Jen of the Fiber Goddess. She didn't dye this yarn, but she spun it. The yarn was dyed by Crafty That Way. This is 800 yards of a sport weight / heavy fingering weight yarn, and it is luscious. There's like kind of like a smoky purple and a brighter purple and a little bit of kind of tealy blue and a little bit of blue. Like, it's so beautiful. I didn't even know what I was gonna make with it. I just fell in love with it. And I had to have it, and like it always blows my mind when people sell their hand spun or like give their hand spun away. It's like gold, it's like liquid, it's like my equivalency that I said that I keep telling people is like hand spun is sort of like breast milk, like it is liquid gold. It is like irreplaceable. That's the pedestal that I put hand spun yarn on. And Jen is such a beautiful spinner. Like it's so good. Anyway, I didn't really know what I was gonna make with it, but I thought maybe it might be a good, instead of using a spin cycle in a pressed flowers cardigan, I could use this beautiful hand spun. And I have this like oatmeal kind of color that I think would look really good as the main color, and then this as the flowers in the pressed flowers. For those of you who have been around here long enough to know that I tried making a pressed flowers cardigan once and then abandoned it, you can just zip it because maybe it'll be better this time. That's what this yarn was originally for, was my previous attempt at a pressed flowers. But I think that is probably going to be the plan. If you have any other suggestions of what to make with this gorgeous 800 yards of sport weight / or heavy fingering yarn, please tell me. I'm not interested in doing like an entire garment just in this. I want it to be like a contrast color or something, or main color with another color or something. Please give me suggestions if you have any suggestions. Okay, those are all my acquisitions. It was a lot. So, but I haven't had a lot of acquisitions lately, so I'm not feeling anything about it. I'm just happy that I have lots more yarn. Okay, that's all of that. That's all knitting content. That's all the yarn content. And I'm going to do a general quick life update, and then I have to go pick up my kids from school. And then they only have 1 full day left of school tomorrow, and then a half day on Thursday, and then it's summertime. Summertime. And then we're just like already into the general life update. If you didn't catch that segue, yeah. My oldest son had his grade 6 graduation on Friday, which was like 4 or 5 days ago. Today is Tuesday. Yeah. And he He has his choice for his hair has always, for the last probably 3 or 4 years, he's had long hair. And his friends at school have bugged him for a really long time about having a mop on his head, and that he should cut his hair, and why do you have long hair? And everyone's like, not in a, well, I think maybe a couple kids in a mean way, but mostly like his friends just bugging him because he has long hair, because that's the only really thing that's different about him. You know, kids are always making fun of people who are different. So anyway, he got tired of it, and a bunch of the other kids at school had been getting their haircut. And the day before his grade 6 graduation, he said, "Mom, I want to get my haircut." So I took him, and he got it from like here to, he's now got like, I wish I could put a picture on here, but I'm not going to put a picture of him on the internet. But it's like the center part, like skater 90s boy haircut. It looks so good on him. He looks like, I went into that barbershop with my little boy and I came out with like a 17-year-old. It felt like he transformed immediately. Like, he looks so much more grown up. Like, he looks taller because you can see how long his neck is, and like, I just keep staring at him. I can't stop staring at him because he looks so handsome and he looks so grown up. And I'm like, all of a sudden my little boy is gone, and I was just like, ooh. And then he had his graduation. So the school that he goes to, I know there's all different kinds of like grades have graduations, but the school that my kids go to is kindergarten to grade 6. So it's a pretty big deal once you've finished like kindergarten to grade 6 all in one school. And then in September, he'll be starting at a junior high, which is grade 7 to 9. So it was a pretty big deal. It was really nice. They had like this ceremony and all this, and like, he wore a black suit jacket with a white t-shirt and jeans, and he just looked so cute. And yeah, and then this past weekend was crazy busy. My husband has been away for almost a week. He's coming home tonight, which is why I would say something about it on the internet. I would never say my husband's away for the next week and then post that on YouTube because anyway, he's on his way back today. But he was gone over the weekend, and we had all of the activities all in one weekend. So there was grade 6 grad, then there was the grade 6 grad after party, which was at like a arcade type place, which was like far away from the school. So I had to drive from there to the arcade, and then I had to drive from the arcade to take my younger son to diving, and then I had to come home and pick up ball hockey gear, and then drive, because my older son then had a ball hockey game, and then we had to come home, and then in the morning we had to get up and drive halfway across the city to another ball hockey game. And then no, that morning was, anyway, I'm not going to describe the whole entire schedule to you, but there was grad, after party, diving, ball hockey. That was Friday. Saturday, there was diving assessment, diving party, ball hockey game. No, Saturday was diving assessment, diving party, basketball, and then a ball hockey game. But all of those things were all like a half an hour drive to and from each thing. And then Sunday there was two ball hockey games. It doesn't sound like that much, but it was so much, and it was so much driving. I actually wrote down a note in my phone, like each trip that I did, driving a kid to somewhere or from somewhere, or picking up a kid or whatever, and added up all the minutes, and it was like almost 6.5 hours of driving over the weekend. Anyway, it was fine. Like, there wasn't anything where I had to be in two places at one time. But yeah, that was it. So this is the last week of everything. Well, basketball's done. This is the last week of diving. My younger son had his diving assessment on Saturday. We haven't found out if he passed yet, but if he passes, then he gets to do, then he gets to compete next year. Starting in September, he'll be in the competitive group instead of the pre-competitive group. So we're hoping he did well. I'm sure he did well. He's a beautiful diver, and we're proud. Anyway, I'm sure he did well. And what else has been going on? Yeah, and we got a trampoline. We got a used trampoline. We got one of those like spring-free ones that are ridiculously expensive, but we got one for pretty cheap on Kijiji, and it's in really good shape. There's just only a couple like little holes in the net, which I can probably fix. So yeah, they've been having so much fun out there. They go out there every chance they can get. Even Dave and I go out there and jump on there with them sometimes and have lots of fun. Yeah, so that's been fun. It'll be good to have over the summer for sure. And it's good for my little one to practice diving because they do a lot of their dryland training on trampolines at the pool. So that'll be good for him. And what else? Oh, I've been doing lots of skateboarding. My friend Alyssa, who I talked about earlier, who makes leather project bags and stuff like that, she posted recently a picture of herself at some skate parks with her kids, and her kids were scooting. And I was like, oh, that's fun. And then she posted a picture of herself with a skateboard and said that she had just got a skateboard and was like going to like start skateboarding again. And I was like, no, like, be cool, like don't overdo it. Don't freak her out. And then I just like immediately slid into her DMs and was like, let's go skateboarding. So yeah, we got together at a skate park one morning after we dropped our kids off at school. I'll put a picture up here. And it was so fun. Like she said she used to skateboard when she was like a teenager kind of thing. So she's not like starting from scratch. She's got a really good handle on it, and yeah, we're gonna be like riding both together pretty soon, I'm pretty sure. Yay, I'm so excited. Like when two worlds collide and meet in the middle, like it's like a knitting world friend and now like a skating world friend, and we're like, yay, it's a knitting skating world, yay. Anyway, I was really excited to go to have someone that I know start skateboarding, so that was pretty fun. Anyway, I do have to get going, and I probably won't be back for a while because it's going to be summer break here and we're going to be going out to the cabin. So I'll try to do a video in between trips to the cabin, maybe do a little bit of a video from the cabin again if I can, and yeah, I feel like I need a cigarette after all of that. That was, especially all those acquisitions. Anyway, I hope that you all are doing well, having lots of good knitting time. I hope that your summer goes well until I see you next time. Thanks for sticking around. Please feel free to leave a comment down below and say hi or what you're working on, or just anything. My favorite part of doing these videos is reading your comments, so that always makes me really happy. So feel free to do that and hit subscribe if you want to, or like give me the thumbs up, you know, all those things that YouTubers always tell you to do. I don't consider myself a YouTuber. I just like make stupid videos about knitting and put them on the internet. But anyway, having trouble figuring out how to say goodbye again, so I'm just gonna go say bye.